Alright, hey guys, this is Louis and I am standing to a future famous gay author known by the name of Steven Dos Santos, and I am, say hello to the world.
Hi world.
Alright, so the reason why I have him here is actually because he just published a book, or the book was just published about 2 weeks ago, and it's called The Culling. And it is about a, go ahead, why don't you explain a little bit about what this book is about?
Sure. It's a young adult novel. It's the first in hopefully a trilogy, and it takes place in a post-apocalyptic future when the earth has been pretty much decimated, and there's a tyrannical government called the establishment that rules it. And when you're 16 years old, you get drafted. There's like a military recruitment, and you get drafted to see if you want to become one of these imposers. And what happens is, if you mess up during your training, you are forced to choose between two of your family members, choose which one of them will die. So as you can imagine, it's pretty horrific stuff. I mean, it could be your brother, it could be your boyfriend, girlfriend,
your mom,
mother, father, anybody. So that's a pretty difficult situation to be in, and my poor main character finds himself in that situation.
Yeah, and I actually happen to have read it, and I have to say I was really intrigued by how it was written, and one of the things like that really stuck out to me, even though this is a gay character, the fact that in this world, even though it was tyrannical and there was a lot of crazy messed up things going on in that world, the one thing that was a non-issue was being gay. Like, when they introduce the characters, it's such like a flow, like, oh yeah, he happens to be gay and he likes this guy or whatever, and you're like, whoa, wait, hold up, who's having an issue with it? And nobody was having an issue with it. Everybody was cool with it. And that's what I thought. I was like, wow, this is pretty cool, because he just kind of, you slid it right in there without it being an issue. And I thought that was very well done, because of the fact that people that are straight and maybe reading this book could be like, oh, like, what's going on here, you know, and it's a non-issue, so I don't think that would make it an issue. You know, right? Yeah,
well, that was one of the goals I had with writing this book, even though I wanted to have main gay characters, because, first of all, there aren't enough main gay characters, especially in teen novels.
Yeah. You're either the hairdresser or the...
Oh, right, or like the best friend. So I wanted to, of course, have teens, LGBT teens, have characters that they could read about and see themselves as the hero of the story. But aside from that, I also wanted a story that anybody, regardless of their sexual orientation, could read and enjoy. And the main thrust of the story has nothing to do with the character's sexual orientation.
Yes.
I mean, people can relate to feelings of having to fight for your family members' lives. That's something that doesn't matter what orientation you are.
For sure.
So that was my goal, to treat being gay in this society as just matter of fact, and it's not questioned by anybody. And like you said, there is a little bit of irony, because in our present society, with all the freedoms we have, it is a big issue, and somehow in this post-apocalyptic, horrible world, it's not.
Yeah, and it's funny, because I remember when you had told me about the book, and you said it was a gaming character, I immediately thought of like gay porn-like type of, you know, like books, because I've read gay books before, I mean, and they're very pleasant to read, but a lot of them are so sexual that it kind of takes away from the story, and the fact that you wrote it where, yes, there are some nice little steamy moments that are about to happen or whatnot, but it's not something so vulgar, because that's not really what it's all about.
That's not right.
It's not about being gay, it's about this person trying to get through and, you know, making sure that the people he loves make it through and don't have to suffer, you know? So,
right.
You know, I really did enjoy this book, and one of the main reasons why I made this video and why I'm asking Steve to do this video and help out is because the thing is that this is one of the first few gay teen novel books that were written by a gay author, and the main character is gay. And the thing is that if not enough of these books are sold, there may not be a second, and this is supposed to be a trilogy.
It's supposed to be a trilogy, yes, yes.
So I really want to see what happens, and I want to see this story kind of just develop and kind of see the whole truth behind the whole like 3-part series. And without, you know, we just got to make sure that this book sells. And one of the issues that you said you were having as when you wrote the book was as far as shopping for a publisher. What was going on with that?
Well, when I was shopping for a publisher, I got, first of all, a lot of comments that people really liked the story, but the problem was, and not everybody came out and said it directly, but then there were a few people that came out and said it directly, where they asked me to change the gender of the main character from from male to female, so that it wouldn't be gay, it would be a heterosexual story, because a lot of publishers were concerned that a book with a main gay character is not going to be mainstream enough, that mainstream people aren't going to read it, and I think that is completely false. I mean, look at the shows on TV now. You have a show like Glee, where one of the most popular couples on there are Kurt and Blaine. So this idea that only gay people will read stories about gay people is completely false. I think if you have an interesting story, everybody will be able to relate in some capacity, regardless of what their sexual orientation is, and hopefully people will discover the book and find that out to be true and be able to enjoy the story because they like the story and not because the character is gay.
Yeah, and I mean, I'm actually very happy that you didn't fall into the whole like, okay, well, since I'm gonna get the book published, let me make the character a girl, like, you know, some suggested.
Yeah, no, I actually had people, one story in particular, I'm not going to name any names, but one good friend, well-meaning friend, actually told me before the book sold that maybe I should change it to a heterosexual main character just to be able to get through the door. And I just couldn't do it. I didn't want to betray, you know, the essence of my work. And I felt all the resistance was actually making me realize that, wait a minute, this is something that needs to be fought against, because obviously I'm sure I'm not the only writer that's having this happen to them. So that made me even more determined to continue until I finally was able to sell the book and keep it the way I wanted it to be.
Now, I actually have a question that, you know, I don't know if you'd be able to answer or whatnot, but do you feel that if it would have been sold as a gay book that you would have to have, like, spiced it up more sexually, or do you feel like...
Well, I mean, again, I want to speak maybe, I don't want to get too specific. I mean, generally, I know what you're saying, that there's a lot of gay...
behind a gay book.
Right.
It's sexual.
It's sexual. And this is, like I said, it's a young adult novel. It's the main target.
It's super cute. I love it. It's a really nice story.
Right. The main target is teenagers, but it's the kind of book that, yes, it's for teenagers, but hopefully adults will be able to enjoy it as well.
Yeah.
And I wanted it, despite all the horrible things that happened in the book, I did want some kind of romantic kind of feelings that hopefully came through. And no, I didn't want to make it an erotic story. I mean, I'm not knocking those kinds of stories.
They're fun to read.
They're fun to read. And but since again my main focus was on teens, I wanted to basically concentrate on other areas and hopefully a book that teens and adults could enjoy.
So pretty much, I mean, if you were into the Hunger Games, if you were into Aragon, I was a big Dragonlance reader back in the day, and I still read a lot of fantasy novels, a lot of teen novels. Those are my favorite types of books to read. And I will tell you that you will pretty much read the first page, and within the first chapter, you're gonna get hooked into the storyline. You're gonna want to continue reading it. And I mean, it's true. Like the first night I started reading it, I was supposed to be at work at 7 a.m. and I was still at 4 a.m. in the morning reading the book.
Oh my gosh!
Like, seriously,
you didn't tell me that before.
I didn't tell you that, but yeah, I was. And you know, it has. You know, at first, you know, I was reading and I was like, oh, you know, I know Steven, so let me go ahead and start reading it. And I totally forgot it was you that wrote it. You know, I was just like, wow, I'm reading this book. And then now I'm like actually sitting next to...
How could you have written that book, right?
Yeah, I just, you know, because you never think about the author when you read the books.
Right, yes.
And this is actually my first experience where I'm reading an actual novel that has been published.
By a person
by somebody that I actually know.
We do bleed.
Yeah, so like they're actual people. So after I finished reading it, I was like, wow, this is a really, really good book. So guys, like I said, I really recommend this book, and just so that we can just have a voice out there, you know, for gay writers and making characters that are gay, you know, like
and making publishers realize that a book can be successful if there are gay main characters.
Main characters, yeah. So please, if you have the chance, it doesn't. I mean, it's like what, $9.99?
Yeah, you can get it on Amazon. It's on Kindle.
You can go to Barnes and Nobles and get it.
Barnes and Noble, you can get it. Any place where it sells books, you should be able to find it. If they don't have it, you can have them order it, but it's pretty much available everywhere.
Yeah, so check it out. And if you guys read it, you know what? Let me know what you guys think. I would actually prefer you guys do like a video comment after you guys read it. I mean, if you guys are pretty good, if you are fast readers, you can read this within a day, honestly, because it's that easy to read and it's that interesting that you'll want to continue reading it. Once you read it, leave a comment below or do a video response and let me know what you guys think, you know, and, you know, hopefully, what's your Facebook page, by the way?
Oh, my Facebook page is, it's facebook.com, Steven Dos Santos author.
Steven Dos Santos author.
Yes.
And do you have Instagram or?
Oh, I have my Twitter is Steven Dos Santos on Twitter. I'm on LiveJournal, again, my name, Steven Dos Santos, and my website, you want to take a guess what it is? It's StevenDosSantos.com with no spaces, StevenDosSantos.com.
Alright, perfect. So hopefully we get a lot of people that enjoy this book, and I know they will. Pick it up and just go ahead and read it because I know you guys are going to love it. And that's pretty much all I have to say. And any closing words at all?
Well, I was going to say, first of all, thank you for the opportunity, and I'm glad you enjoyed the book. It's always a little scary when somebody that you know reads the book, because then you're like, oh no, what are they going to think? Yeah. So thanks so much. Thank all of you, and hopefully you'll get a chance to check it out and let us know what you think.
All right, awesome.
All right, thanks. Good night.
Have a good one, guys.